Loaded bases. Garrett Kelly. How's it going?
It's going, brother. Thanks for having me.
Hey.
Before we start, what's the I forgot
Yeah.
to ask you, what's allowed, what's not allowed? Am I allowed to curse on here? Is
Dude,
this like a
you can say
PG?
whatever the fuck you want.
Beautiful. All right, we'll
I
keep it
have you
100.
can be rated R. You can have a drink. You can do whatever.
You know what? Hold on, I'll be right back.
I got
Speaking
you.
of having a drink, I've had a long day at work.
Hey, pour yourself something nice. While we're just hanging out, let's see if we can get some more people on this Twitter.
I have a chest and back day after this, but one beer isn't going to kill me.
Oh no, you're good. Pacifico?
Cheers. Yeah, I stole one of my roommate's beers.
Cheers.
He'll be all right.
You're good.
Sorry for the mirror in the background.
Dude.
It just comes with it.
Hey, I like your flow, so that's kind of
thank you.
That's where we're at.
It's getting in there, man. It's getting along.
I had to cut mine off because it was irritating me so bad.
It gets annoying, especially because I'm in a professional role right now. So wearing long hair, I can't like put it back in a hat. Like when I can, I'll just throw a hat on, but for most of the day, it's out. I would take care of it.
I would say because I used to have to like throw on like a headband like to keep my hair out of my eyes.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, working out in this thing's a pain in the ass, but it is what it is. You know, you do it. You just do what you got to do.
You got to have a flow. That's the sixth tool.
Yeah, well, I could have used it, I guess, earlier, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
It took a while to grow out.
So yeah. Well, okay. So what is your role in baseball? What do you do?
Right now, what am I doing? I'm unemployed currently with baseball. So I was a relief pitcher with the Cubs and the Twins and the Schaumburg Boomers. Shout out Frontier League. They just won another another Frontier League championship.
Oh yeah.
So right-handed pitcher, was a starter, then reliever, and kind of in that interesting space that a lot of guys get to if they're able to play the game long enough, where they're kind of, do I continue? Do I start my own, like a real life?
Yeah.
So since this is a public space, I won't say one way or another whether or not I'm finished or not, but still potentially looking for a job for next year. We'll see.
I think you will find one. I think that'll be
I think if I want one, I'll find one. I don't know quite yet. I love the game. I also like making real money. So.
Well, yeah, because what year were you drafted?
I was an undrafted free agent, senior signed 2016.
Okay. Yeah, so you've been, this
would have been
years.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. It would have been year 7.
Yeah. So yeah, actually you've had your fair share of the minors.
Oh yeah, I've lived it. I've lived it as a guy. I got $500 as a signing bonus. So
hell yeah.
I was every bit of a grinder as you can be. As cliche and annoying as that term is, I lived that for sure.
So yeah, because now because you do stuff for more than baseball now.
Yeah, got to put on for the boys. Yeah, it's been a hot minute since I've been able to do anything, just because my off-season job right now is taking up so much of my time. Shout out Bob's Watches, Newport Beach. But more than baseball, I jumped on with them in what is that? Was that been late 2019?
How'd you get on with them? Or how did that whole thing start?
Yeah, great question. No, they did so much outreach, and I guess I can say we now do so much cool stuff in terms of giving money back to ball players. They did one of their rounds of fundraising was like a $500 stipend to help you get through the COVID time. At the very beginning of COVID, when it first started like kind of creeping on. So I just reached out to him. I think it might even been before COVID, honestly. I think this was late 2019. We didn't really know a whole lot about COVID. It was just like a housing thing. And I just moved to Miami at the time, and it was kind of expensive. So I reached out and I was I'll apply for this loan. I'll apply for the grant. And I got to talking with Jeremy and Simon, and then eventually Slade. And I had a little bit of, not expertise, but some experience in the gaming industry within Twitch. And they were like, we want to start doing our own gaming thing. Do you want to jump on? and be a part of it. And then it eventually was like, do you want to run it? And I was like, well, Slade and I pretty much took over a majority of it.
Yeah.
Slade's one of the founders, and I feel awful because, like I said, the past 6 weeks or so, I've been kind of out of the loop. Just because I get
Yeah.
home at 6:30 and it's West Coast time, and we did all the tournaments and everything we did were all predicated upon East Coast time. So, but I just jumped in and I helped start our Twitch platform. Our partners over at Double Plus Gaming, Sean and Neil, they're the best. They were the business side behind all that, and they helped with some of the creative stuff. But I kind of fancied myself as a bridge between the baseball players and the gaming nerds because I'm kind of one
Yeah.
of both. So trying to bring in some athletes into the world of streaming, I know it's another way for you to get your brand out there. We did some cool stuff, partner up with Logitech, and there's more stuff in the pipeline that they're definitely going to get. I mean, we've done a bunch of, I don't know if you've seen the NFTs and stuff that we did. That's all.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure those fuckers out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have some Ethereum waiting to go.
There you go.
Just don't know.
It's a good one to have. Yeah, I don't even have a whole lot of crypto myself. I just kind of know how it works. Again, when you don't have a whole lot of cash, the cash you do have, you don't want to throw it a chance. Really, I'm not huge on just throwing my money out and seeing what happens. But
it's tough.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. So kind of put my, I don't know, dabbled in a bunch of different shit and kind of figured out what makes me tick and what I'm enjoying, and just kind of trying to figure myself out outside of the game for sure.
So yeah, it's I mean, like, cause I game, I play MLB The Show.
Okay,
That's like what I play.
for sure.
I mean, and I think I've streamed on Twitch twice, and that's it.
Yeah, it's fun, dude. I mean, look, here's the thing. If you're going to be playing, you might as well stream. I mean, at the end of the day, even if you have a day where you suck, it doesn't matter. You're just putting yourself out there. And you never know, man. You do it enough, you build up an audience, and then the audience will overlap between streaming and your podcast. You bring them to the podcast. You bring,
True.
a little cross pollination there and start building your brand. It's a great way.
I think, let's see, I've had, how many people have I had that are streamers on the pod? I think now it'll be 3. You're my third one. That's former minor league guys who now stream.
Right on. Yeah. There's a lot of cross, like I said, cross pollination. It's a way for you to interact with someone that you're interested in on a more personal level. Like Trevor May is a perfect example. Dude's an unbelievable baseball player, right? Big leaguer, career big leaguer, great numbers, throws a million miles an hour. It's gross. He's also a huge, huge streamer, and it's a way for his baseball fans to connect with him on a more personal level because they can go in his chat. He can answer them directly. You can't do that when you're watching someone on ESPN, right? It's a completely different world. And it's another way for him to bring in the people who don't know him as a baseball player. They know him as a gamer, and then kind of bring them over to the baseball side a little bit, introduce the game. The game's dying for the young kids. It just is. It's boring. It's slow.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of traditional, like playing the game the right way, but this notion that you can't have fun is what's crippling the game and it's killing it. So
yeah, see, that's my thing. I mean, like, cause I love baseball, like as a fan, but stats and all those and like the number stuff, like that's like I could really care less. Like I like the journeys like of the players,
right?
And that's why I do like what I do. But like, and then like when I go to a baseball game, it's, I mean, like I can't really like watch a game on TV. Just because it's slower.
Sure.
And I mean, like I like bat flips. I like players celebrating, and I want to see more of it because therefore it gets the audience into the game.
100%, dude. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing: if you don't appeal to the younger generations, the game will just die. It's pretty plain and simple. And baseball has done, by and large, a pretty shitty job of doing that. We have quite possibly the greatest athlete to ever play the game. And he can walk down a street and no one would know he is a Mike Trout. I mean, he literally, I don't think people can completely comprehend how good he is at baseball. It's transcendent of the game, right? And he's not more, and part of that's, from what I don't know Mike personally or anything like that, but I hear he's kind of like keeps to himself. He's not boisterous and that doesn't really fit his game, and that's fine, but still market him better. I mean, you have a guy that is transcendent and no one knows about him. Blows my mind. So the game has a long ways to go in terms of appealing to younger generations. Kids would rather watch people play Fortnite or Call of Duty than watch baseball right now. And
100%.
honestly, I can't blame them to some extent. I can't. We need to find a way to appeal to the younger generation, or the game will die. So, I mean, for all the good and bad publicity that a lot of these ball players bring, getting just the game out there in general, you need heroes and villains, man. Like in golf, like I'm a big golfer, right? The whole Bryson DeChambeau versus Brooks Koepka thing, where they
Yep.
kind of like pretended like they hated each other. You need good and bad. There's a reason why wrestling is so popular. It's the
Yeah.
storyline behind it. It's the good versus evil.
Exactly. I mean, because that's like the Joe Kelly and Correa thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the stuff of
100%.
baseball that I like to see.
Yeah, dude. I mean, they used to beat Red Sox Yankees blood, man. They used to fucking hate each other. They used to go at each other's necks. A-Rod versus Veritek. Dudes are shoving and fighting. I get that you want to protect multi-million-dollar assets, and I'm not one to ever say like throw at people's heads or do anything like that. But a little excitement where people people used to take care of business. I think that's fun. I think it should be that way. They're trying to get rid of fighting in hockey. I mean, hockey's like the last good sport there is.
Everyone wants to watch hockey for the fights.
Exactly.
That is the best part, like for the fans. It's because of like the speed of it. Yeah.
You look at UFC, look how big it's become. Shit's exciting. It's interesting. People live their mundane lives where they go to their work 9 to 5. I get it because I'm doing it right now. It sucks.
Yep.
And they want a little bit of spice in their life, right? They want to go home and watch something fun. They don't want to watch. And I'm a pitcher. They don't want to watch a 1-0 ball game. Most of them don't. Like
I love that shit.
A true baseball fan will, and that's good. You need one of those every once in a while. You need your dominant outings by DeGrom, where he goes 7 innings, gives up 2 hits and no runs for 18 straight appearances. That's great. It's good for the game in that aspect. But when that one dude connects on a ball and flips the shit out of his bat because it sends it 7 rows deep, you can't be upset about that. You have to be okay with it. You have to.
It's I wouldn't say like this past summer I went to Wrigley Field to go watch the Padres play because I wanted to watch Fernando Tatis play.
Right.
And then when the ball is in the field, he's still interacting with fans, and he's still talking to the other team, and he's just having fun. And that's what I like to see, and that's what I want to see more of.
And I think, I mean, there is a growing youth movement within the game. A lot of the stars are young, right? A lot of the guys are really young. So I wouldn't be surprised to kind of see a general shift. And this whole lockout is going to be interesting to see how, from a legal perspective and from a players union perspective, things come out, because it's not just about salaries. It's also about licensing and marketing deals and owning your digital asset and crypto, and
it's going to be huge.
How, future uses of Hawkeye, which is an optical camera, versus the old TrackMan and stuff like that, affects arbitration. It's a bunch of crazy shit that's going down. It's to the average fan, they just think, oh, it's millionaires fighting with billionaires, but it's people trying to protect their livelihood for years to come, not just for themselves, but for future generations of the game. So a lot going down. I do believe that enough smart people will come around to be like, okay, we need to start focusing on trying to make this a more universal game. I would hope so. If not, pay me $5 million a year and I'll do it for you.
Hey, if I had $5 million to fork out, I would let you be the commissioner of baseball.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'd love to. I don't know if everybody else would feel that way.
2022.
The most underqualified representative ever, but I'm down. I'll do it.
Well, so is Rob Manfred, but that's a whole different story.
No comment.
Well, it's okay, so the players, I'm for me, growing up, I watching Ken Griffey Jr. play. That's exciting.
Absolutely, dude.
And then with Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire, and just home runs after home runs. And
I just watched that. Was it ESPN, the 30 for 30 or E60 or something, that year, the year where they both went after it? Absolutely, man. That shit's exciting.
I think we need to bring steroids back.
Yeah, well, no comment. I'll leave it no comment.
That would be, oh my god, that I mean, if they were all right, so you guys have the choice. You can take steroids and have no shot at being an all-star, but you can take steroids or play natural and still get all of the awards.
I mean, people would just say that they're natural and cheat, just like they're doing now. I don't think it would change much. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think I think that era came at a time that it needed to come in order to
Yeah.
bring some excitement back in the game. Um, it's just tough. It's tough because then you're literally, like I said, it's not just the beauty of the game. It's not just that. It's like you're literally taking money out of people's out of families' mouths
Yeah.
at that point, and that's something that a lot of people don't really comprehend. They're like, "Oh, you're poisoning this beautiful art and this beautiful game." The game is beautiful and it's got history, and that's all. Yeah, it's good and well. But at some point, some dude that's juicing and he's got the edge on some guy that's not, literally taking money out of some other kids, some other
Yeah.
dude's kids' mouths, and that's when shit gets real. It's like, yeah, this is a job at the end of the day. These people are providing for their families. Are they compensated very well for it? Sure, but it's also a multi-billion-dollar industry, and players really aren't even getting their share of what they bring to the table compared to how much money they bring in. Like people are like, oh, you're getting $25 million a year. Well, that guy's probably bringing in 3x of that to that team.
Yeah.
You're trying to tell me that like Jacob DeGrom and ticket sales and jersey sales
Well,
and
yeah,
marketing, the guy's worth all that and then some and then even more. So there's a way,
it's
there's a way to quantify that. I'm sure. I don't know about that. I know there is.
it's like to go back to like the amount of money that Trout signed for. It's like, I mean, because he sells out stadiums
Yeah,
just to watch Trout play. I mean, like every single time like that the Angels like come to Seattle, like I'm up there
sure.
just because I want to see
Yeah, man.
like my favorite players play.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of money. I mean, it's just TV deals alone. It's crazy. The economics behind the game is just it's impressive. It's daunting, but it's fun to talk about.
I would say being a professional baseball player, it has its ups and downs,
Yeah,
100%.
no doubt. Plenty.
What so like when you were younger, were you always wanting to be a professional baseball player?
100%. Yeah. Since I was old enough to think about what I wanted to do, I told myself one day I'd be a pro baseball player, and I had to do it. I mean, obviously, big league dream, and whether or not that comes to fruition is, it is what it is. I'm proud of the career that I had either way. I had to work really hard to get to where I did, but since I was a kid, man, I started playing when I was like 3 or 4 years old, and this is what I wanted to do. Just had a lot of love for the game, and I was good enough to get by for long enough. So that was always the dream for sure.
So yeah, so during like 2020, like when there wasn't baseball,
Sure.
what did you do to stay ready? I mean, because you're a pitcher,
Right. Yeah. I
pitchers
actually I had
are routined.
I had labrum surgery in December of 19.
Oh, that's fun.
So
I had mine. It was a blast.
yeah, it sucked. But Dr. Grizzle with the Cubs up in Northwestern did a great job. Took care of me, and I healed pretty well, and rehabbed in Miami with Pinecrest Physical Therapy. Shout out my homies over there. They're great.
What part of Miami? Like, cause I used to live down in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, I was in Coral Gables at the time.
Okay, okay, yeah, I actually have family in Coral Gables.
Oh, right on. Yeah, it was a good time. I enjoyed my time in Miami. Because I'm half Cuban, so I feel like every Cuban has to go to Miami at some
Always,
point. At some point, it's like your return home, your Mecca, your heritage trip to Jerusalem. If you're Jewish, it's kind
yeah,
of like you kind of have to go there at some point just to experience it. But I was down there and working out, so I kind of got lucky in a sense, as lucky as you can be. I mean, like the pandemic was awful, people died. I don't want to
yeah,
make light of the situation, but finding silver linings, like I had a year to try and get as healthy as I could, so that's what I did. And then towards the end of the year, I moved back to Fresno, continued to work out, and then just try to be as ready as I could be for spring training of 2021. But it was tough because you're coming off of a major surgery, major injury. You're not, even though all the places I went were great, it's still not like I'm getting work firsthand with my team
yeah,
in Arizona. So it was tough because, I had gone at that point 14, 15 months without seeing a hitter or really being in a highly competitive environment. So you have to create that every single day that you get in the weight room or you get in the PT room. It was kind of tough. I mean, it was just as much of a mental and emotional fatigue as it was physically. And
yeah.
but got through it, and didn't have the best year last year, but I was proud of myself just for getting through that whole journey. It wasn't an easy one.
So yeah, did you find yourself like trying like new things like during 2020 and say because when there wasn't baseball?
Yeah, to an extent. I don't know. I kind of had a pretty narrow-minded focus. I mean, I've always had like off-season jobs, just
Yeah,
'cause you have to survive. So that aspect of it really didn't change much. But in terms of from like a baseball perspective, yeah, I mean, I had to learn how to throw a baseball again.
that is true.
It was kind of weird. And definitely probably hung out a little bit more than I should have at some points. I kind of got a little lazy, not from a rehab perspective, for just like a general life perspective. It's kind of nice not having to worry about anything kicking at the house. For a guy who's a gamer, I probably played a little too much video games. Got a little out of
There
shape.
is never too much. There is never too much time.
Yeah, well, at 20, whatever I was then, 24, 25, it was fine. I mean, now it's definitely not okay, but back
Because
then it was, just kind of hanging out. I enjoyed it. Definitely was a good time in my life. I was trying to make the most of a pretty tough situation, but yeah, in terms of like life, I always try something new in the off season. I've done something different every year just because I have so many different interests, and try to use that time to figure out what really made me click for, when the last pitch I threw, that was the last pitch I threw. I wanted to be prepared, and I didn't want to get caught with my my pants around my ankles. So yeah, I've always experimented in jobs or internships or stuff like that.
so outside of baseball and gaming,
Hmm.
what's your hobbies? What do you
Oh yeah,
do?
I mean, I love.
So because you live in a prime location.
I do. Yeah, I moved to Newport Beach in September, and it's been the single greatest thing that's ever happened to me from a moving standpoint. I mean, I love the area. My cousin and I bodyboard a lot.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah,
Oh, I
I
would
mean,
too.
I get in the water as much as I can. Boogie for life. Some people try to give you shit because surfing is cooler. I'm like, no, I like put my fins on and get in the water that way. But I love that. I'm in there all the time. I love to golf, and this is a great area for golfing.
I
Um,
can't hit a golf ball to save my fucking life.
it's tough, dude. It's super. It's always, to be honest with you, it's been my favorite sport forever. I just
Really?
wasn't good enough to try
Well,
and
you're a
grind it out.
pitcher. You're a pitcher. Every pitcher
Yeah.
golfs.
I mean, I was a position player for most of my career. I mean, I've only been a pitcher only since what, 2016, 17, 15. So 7, 8 odd years. I was a catcher up until then.
Oh, what?
Um, yeah, I was a catcher in college, and I couldn't hit because hitting's really hard. I don't know if you knew that, but hitting's really
Uh,
tough.
yeah, that's why I would rather be a PO.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, being a pitcher was sick. You kidding me? Position players had to run and do all that crazy shit, and all I did was hang out for 7 innings, 8 innings a game, and come in and throw 1 inning and just throw as
are you
hard as I
kidding me?
could.
We had to run so fucking much in college
Yeah, the worst.
just because I was a pitcher.
Oh, you guys ran a lot. Well, college is
Oh,
different, though. I mean, I loved my time at Wake Forest, and I had some great coaches, but the kind of stuff that you do in college is different than
it.
what you do in pros. I mean, there's a purpose for it because it's about building character and building good
Oh yeah,
routines.
Es-
And
especially like where I went. It was. I mean, because I went to a JUCO, so it was just like, dude. I mean, we would do stupid shit just to build character. Like we would
right,
build fences just to build character, and we're like,
yeah, man, that's all it is.
why are
Like,
we
look,
doing this?
look, you're turning 18-year-old dumbass idiots who just want to party into
Facts.
serious men, and I can appreciate that aspect of it, and I know that a lot of that's what it was done for. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of eyewash shit that you do in college, and Tom Walter would agree with me. So would all the other coaches that we had at Wake Forest. I mean, in the show, you don't do anything at all, from
Oh
what people
no.
have told me. And in the minor leagues, it's more of like, do what you need to do to get ready. Like,
Yeah.
that's pretty much what it is. Like, you're an adult, you're a grown ass man, figure it out. Now, if you come in 60 pounds overweight, they're going to run your ass. But so long as you get your shit done and you don't suck, they're not going to say much to you.
So
But
yeah.
yeah, back to what I love doing. I mean, I've always loved business. It's always been since I was
Yeah.
a little kid, the cliche, like, lemonade stand, yard sale kind of guy. Over COVID, I actually built a collectibles online shop, mostly was with Pokemon cards of all things,
Yep.
because Pokemon took a huge boost up. And again, being a nerd, I was into that kind of shit. So started off with like $200, ended up going from that all the way up to like a $25,000 box of cards.
No
So,
shit.
oh yeah, it was nuts, man. Went to a Collecticon in Dallas and everything. It was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed it. I still stay kind of in it with the community a little
Yeah.
bit. I don't have as much time, but I'll check in on some of my homies in there from time to time.
Damn.
But yeah, I've always
That's
tried to do
awesome. That is badass, dude.
Oh, dude, yeah, check it
So
out.
sweet.
MTB Collectibles, man. We got an Instagram page and everything.
Dude, I've actually gone to it before.
Yeah, that was my baby. That started
No
that thing.
shit.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So I'll probably get back into it if I have more time now. If depending on what the baseball situation's like, I might jump back in. But I've always loved finding a way to maximize profit in a certain area. Whether it's I used to fix broken iPhones. I used to buy like an iPhone 6 for $150. Buy a screen for $15-20 and then fix it and sell it for $300. And I did that.
Yeah.
And that got me through an off season. I made enough money to get me through an off season. Like probably could have made more money if I just did a stupid 9-to-5 job, but I didn't want to do that.
But that's boring.
I wanted to grind it out. And so that the entrepreneurial aspect is always something that really interests me. And I think eventually I'll get into private equity or venture capital, something along those lines, just because that's what I'm passionate about. But I got to find my niche first, something that'll interest me long enough. The ADD thing is killer, dude. I'm interested in something for 4 or 5 months, and then I move on to the next thing.
Dude, that's what I thought. I thought I was doing so like growing up, like I thought that I had ADD, but it turned out I'm actually bipolar. So because when I would have like my manic phases, I was trying to do everything and anything because life was like I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
But then it would drop down, and then I'm like, I want nothing to do with it.
Sure.
But dude, like I wish I think like to be like an entrepreneur, like you're talking about, that would be like the dream job because you pretty much.
Well, you're doing it now. You started this thing from nothing. What do you mean, kind of? 100%.
Okay, yeah, I guess true. I guess, yeah. I mean, I started because of COVID and baseball ended.
It doesn't matter why you started. The fact of the matter is you're doing it, bro. You built this thing up from nothing. Now you have some really big ass people. I mean, you had Dallas Braden and the Garrett Kelly on your podcast.
That's what I'm saying. 2 days back to back. I am like, I am here.
How do I even follow that guy up? By the way, why would you? That's pretty. That's messed up scheduling. That you would put me after him. I'm like,
hey, well, I tried before.
That's fair.
We tried before.
That's
fair. But
we did.
Hey,
sorry, I had a date.
Fun fact: you were drinking the same thing that he drank last night.
Oh, he's drinking Pacifico. Fine, man, Dallas. Cheers to you, Mr. Perfect Game. I watched that game not live there, but live like on TV. It was pretty.
Yeah.
Fun. Yeah.
Yeah. See, dude. Yeah. See, you guys have the same drink of choice.
Well, you know what? That's fine, man. I can say he's a scholar and a gentleman for that.
See, so that's how we put you guys back to back. Pacifico. Cheers to Pacifico.
Yeah, this is a free. I don't even know if I can. This is a free ad for Pacifico Clara beer, cerveza something. La cerveza de Pacifico.
And I just got Screwball. That's just fine.
That works. Yeah, I mean, I'm a Jameson guy through and through.
That's not too bad.
Drink of choice. It's my drink of choice.
I've actually just started to get into whiskey and bourbons. Yeah. So now, yeah, I mean, because we have a shit ton of IPAs and beers like where I'm from. So now it's I'm trying to get to the whiskey and bourbons.
You're Pacific Northwest, right?
Yep, Washington State.
Right on. Whereabouts in?
Central Washington. So I'm in Yakima.
Yakima.
If you know where Yakima's at.
Right on. My aunt and uncle have a spot up on the Puget Sound, like kind of around the Hoodsport area. If you're familiar with that.
Yeah. Okay.
Like north of Shelton. So I love, dude. Washington's underrated state. Great state.
Dude, it's fun.
Some of my buddies from college are from up there too, and a couple of my teammates from the Cubs. A lot of good ball players in the Pacific Northwest. They get slept on because the weather's so shitty all the time. But
yeah, well, it's actually snowing right now.
It's snowing.
Yeah, so I live in like the central of the state. So the state is divided by the Cascade Mountains. So on the west side is like where it rains all the time. So on my side, it gets like 110 in the summer, snows in the winter. Springtime is beautiful. The fall time is fall.
Oh,
It's
so you
yeah.
get a full 4 seasons.
Yep.
Nice, nice. Yeah, it's pretty much always great here in Southern California, but it's actually
Yeah.
been kinda cold recently, can't lie. It was like 49 degrees today for
That
a
is
little
cold
bit.
there.
It's freezing cold. People don't even like, people here are so soft, they can't deal with that
Dude,
shit.
were you in Miami, like, when it hit, like, 50?
I mean, I'm sure I don't know, I'm sure I was. I was probably loving it, and everyone else was freaking out in, like, full
Yep.
goose down, feather bullshit jackets and stuff.
Yeah, it gets that was the craziest thing for me. I mean, like, when it hit, like, 70, I was in, like, pants and, like, a sweatshirt.
Yeah, for sure.
But
So,
no. What's your so, like, if you were to start a business, like, what would be your dream business?
that's tough. Well, we kinda were toying around with the idea of an incubator for more than baseball, where we would take aspiring businesses for minor leaguers if they had ideas and
Mhm.
help accelerate that, grow it into something sustainable. So kind of almost like a Shark Tank, but for
So it'd be like
minor leaguers
so, like, consulting kind of.
and a consultant to an extent. But it wouldn't be so much of a cutthroat Shark Tank like we're all fighting against each other. It'd be you
Yeah.
make an application, and Slade has a pretty huge network of business people, and Slade's a serial entrepreneur himself.
Yeah.
So, just trying to find a way to help improve either, standard operating procedures or give people just a start in the right direction, the resources to grow a brand, grow a business, grow something. So, kind of being in that aspect. Obviously, I need to grow a couple things myself to learn that from scratch. I mean, I've grown, side hustles, but never had to incorporate, never had to deal with any of the legal stuff, taxes, all that whole nine. So,
Yeah.
I think kind of helping ball players or just athletes that were in the position I am now down the line to help them grow something meaningful, sustainable. They can help with their families, gives them something to do outside the game, maybe down the line after the game's over with, grow again and into something even bigger. That would be I think, kind of my dream gig for now. But until then, I just want to make a ton of money and figure out what I want to do with it. I don't know. I mean, I have too many interests to just be limited to one specific thing
Yeah.
for the rest of my life.
I feel you. Let's say, 'cause dude, like, 'cause that's a great idea, though. That's
Mm.
that's awesome.
Yeah, well, it's still on the it's still on the chalkboard for now. We just need capital and time, man. At the end of the day,
All it
as
takes is
I've
money.
and money and time. Truthfully, I mean, even time more so than money. Honestly, I've come to realize as I've gotten older, man. Time, you hear a bunch of old hags always telling you time, time, time. This and when you're
It's true, though.
18, 19, 20, 22, time is you got the whole world forever, and you do. But at the same time, getting older, getting closer. I'm on the other side of 25 now.
Dude, when I turned
So
27, I was like, "Fuck, I am so close to 30."
you're telling me, dude. I'm right there with you, 27. So as I get a little bit older, I realize how valuable time really is.
Yeah.
So that is for sure, without a doubt, the most valuable commodity. So we'll see. I mean, if I kill it, whatever it is I decide to do for a while, and built up a decent little nest egg to where I can branch off and do my own thing. I think that might be something I'd be interested in is trying to just, be an incubator and accelerator. But until then, however I can make some money doing something that's interesting.
Yeah. Say we're gonna wrap it up a little bit. So I have one final question for you.
Sure.
So, okay, so let's say that there is a minor leaguer
Uh-huh.
and he is like, "You know what? I kinda wanna get on with life," because he feels like he's stuck in the minors.
Sure.
What do you tell him? You're like,
Yeah,
go ahead.
absolutely. You got to make sure that's what you want first, because the last thing you
Yeah,
ever want to do is live with regret. So you got to look back on your career, and you got to look back on where you are now, and you have to. The biggest thing you have to be able to do is tell your 6-year-old self where you are and what you're doing, and then feel like you're not letting that person down. A long time ago, I made the decision that baseball is what I did. It wasn't who I was. So if you identify as a baseball player, if that's like who you are to your core, it's really tough to ever let that go. And some people can never can do that, and that's okay.
true.
They'll play indie ball. They'll do what they need to do forever, and there's no shame in that. That's the game is their life, and that's great. It's okay for as long as it is. Eventually, Father Time, something will catch up to you. But first and foremost, you got to make sure that that's your circumstances, if that's okay, if that's what you need to do, if you're okay with it. Then you just need to find out what you're passionate about. And if you can monetize that, great. If you can't monetize what you're passionate about now, stall, get a job that you're good at. If you can talk, go in sales. If you are good with a computer, find some sort of computer programming stuff, find a skill, find a passion, and and just dive into it with the same tenacity and ferocity that you did with the game. I mean, you can't. The beautiful thing about baseball is that it sets you up for life in whatever it is you do. It's a game of failure, and a lot of the world doesn't know how to fail and continue to go. A lot of people, they get kicked in the face and they're done, and that's just it. They crumble. But if you're a baseball player and you've dealt with a stadium of 10,000 people calling you a dumbass and talking about your girlfriend or your sister or whatever it is, you're never going to get that in any other job. So if you can get through that, you can get through an angry customer for a sales call. Like, it doesn't matter.
100%.
My job now that I have, like, people are freaking out about stuff. I'm like, dude, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's just X, Y, and Z. Like, your life isn't public. You don't mess up and it's on Sports Center. You don't do any of this stuff. It's relative, right? So baseball will build strong-minded individuals because the game requires so much mentally, so much emotionally, so much sacrifice, especially in the minor league level, that as soon as you step into the real world, it'll be much easier. Dude, real world, like, working is so much easier than baseball. It's ridiculous. I show up, I get paid, I sell some Rolexes, I get paid.
Yep.
It's like, you don't have to eat top ramen. It's great. It's awesome. I wake up, I step outside. If I'm in Southern California, the sun's shining down, I hear the waves crashing. It's like, come on, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Now, granted, if you ever make it to the show, I'm sure it's awesome. I couldn't tell you, but putting all that effort and energy in and killing yourself every day to make it to the show is 100% worth it. Obviously, you're making $600,000 a year, living in the nicest way you can, and that's sick. But for the 99% of guys that go through this game that don't get to do that, it will prepare you for life afterwards. It truly will. So just find something you enjoy and just attack it like you do with baseball, man. That's really all I could say. That's what I'm doing now. Like I said, I haven't completely written the game off by any means. I still have some love for it, but I could look the 6-year-old in the eye and tell him that you made good on what you said you were going to do. So that's where I'm at.
Good. Well, Garrett, cheers.
Cheers, brother. Thanks for having
cheers.
me.
I have the last drink, so cheers for that.
Yeah, I have a little less sip. And let me just tell you, man, super proud of what you're doing. I know that you have been a huge proponent of the minor leaguer, of the struggles that we've faced. I know you're a huge sounding board for that. You bring on some really cool people, and you built this up by yourself from nothing. So needless to say,
that.
I'm a big fan. I got a lot of love for you and what you're doing, and I wish you nothing but the best. I hope this turns into something that is huge. You should already be very proud of it, but I hope it turns into something that gives you some substance and hopefully gives you a little cash down the line somewhere. I mean, I see you got some. I see some little logos on the side of your shit here. I hope
Oh yeah.
You're getting a little. Hope you're getting a little love, a little scratch.
We're trying.
Okay.
We're trying. Yeah, dude. I got Canadips today. They're my newest affiliate.
Give me a plug on Canadips. What's up with Canadips?
Dude, Canadips. All right, so here's my first plug ever for Canadips. Okay, so let me just grab my can over here.
There you go.
So Canadips. It's not chew, but CBD. Okay, and I think it's perfect, like, for baseball players, because for one, baseball players chew, and for two, I don't know, but I know a lot of baseball players that enjoy smoking pot.
I cannot confirm or deny whether that's true.
I will confirm.
We don't get tested, but I can tell you that I've heard of such individuals enjoying such things.
Exactly. So, Canadips, they put the two together. So it's a pouch. You throw it in your lip. It's CBD, and then there's tons of different flavors. Let's see, because this one is OG Kush.
Nice.
So, I mean.
It's just CBD for now, right? There's
correct.
No like cannabinoid psychoactive
unless you're in California, they actually sell it.
Well, I'll tell you
maybe for your friends.
I mean, maybe for my buddies, I can introduce it to them.
Exactly. Exactly. So you can actually order it and you get it through that because
Okay,
you're
cool.
in California.
All
So
right.
it's I like them.
Sounds good. Yeah, CBD, man, it's great. Anti-inflammatory, good for your health. Helps regulate
Exactly.
some sleeping stuff. So okay, I'll look into that. You
Exactly.
got EC77 and
Dugout
drink
mugs,
from
baby.
Dugout Mugs. Good shit, dude. Look at you, man.
Yeah.
Fucking A+, dude. I'm proud of you. That's
I
awesome.
try. I appreciate
Keep
it.
killing it. Keep killing it. And I love the one you have in the bottom left hand. I'm biased. I like that one the most. More Than Baseball. The little logo you got all the way. There you go. Boom. Shout outs. Proud of my boy.
Sir, More Than Baseball, one of the best nonprofits out there.
That's the one. That's the one.
So,
Thanks for having me, man. It's
dude,
been an
Garrett,
absolute joy.
have a great night.
You as
And
well. And we'll definitely
enjoy
be in
your
touch.
workout.
Yeah, I gotta go get a little chest in.
Let's go.
You get fat, man. It's easy to get fat. You live here, you do nothing but hang out.
Dude,
I'm
that's
not
called adulting. And that's what happens when you are done playing sports. You just gain weight.
I know. I can't though. I can't afford it. I mean, I live in California. You can't get fat here. People will judge.
So you are continuing your career then because you don't want to get fat.
We'll see. We'll keep it up.
Okay. Sounds good.
Thanks for having me, bro.
All right. Ava, take care.